Are you tired of grinding for hours but still not seeing real improvement in your gameplay? Do you feel stuck, like no matter how much you practice, you're not reaching your full potential? Well, here's the harsh truth. No plan, no progress. Most gamers don't train the right way. They waste time on random matches, hoping to get better instead of following a structured plan that actually works. That's exactly what we're going to fix today. In this video, I'll show you how to build a pro-level training plan that's based on science, performance coaching, and what the best players in the world actually do. Whether you're aiming for the next rank or dreaming of going pro, this is the training method you need. So, if you're serious about leveling up your skills, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to train smarter, not harder. Let's get started. Welcome to Skilltree Coaching. Most people think just playing more makes you a better player. I used to believe that too. 20 years ago, I dreamed of becoming a professional player. That's why I trained as hard and as much as I could. But back then, there were no guides, there were no YouTube tutorials, nothing which could have helped me to improve. That's why I had to figure it out the hard way. I never made it as a pro. Instead, I became a teacher for medicine, communication, psychology, learning, and other stuff. This video is for people who are in the same position as I was back then. That's why I've packed it with a lot of insights, not only from my experience as a player, but also from my experience as a coach, as a mental coach, and as a teacher. And while I don't have all the answers, I'm trying to show you what science says about getting better and what actually helped me and other people. Some of these tips helped me to climb from 2000 ELO in FACEIT to 3200 ELO within a year. But this video isn't about me. It's about helping you achieving your goals. Let's cut through the myths and see what really helps you get better. To guide you through this video, I created 2 chapters. In the first chapter, we are talking about which things your training should cover. In the second part of this video, we are going to go through some concepts that will help you improve your training plan. Before you even start grinding, you need to understand what a well-structured training session actually includes. Because just hopping into random matches and hoping to improve, that's not how the pros do it. To do it right, there are a few things to bear in mind. Every solid training plan covers 4 essential aspects. Let's go through them one by one. First one are mechanical skills. Mechanical skills are raw execution-based skills in your game. Things like aiming, movement, and mechanical precision. In FPS games that would be crosshair placement, recoil control, and movement mechanics. In MOBAs, last hitting, skill shot accuracy, quick decision making. In fighting games, frame perfect execution and combo consistency. Your mechanical skills are like the foundation of your house. If they're weak, everything else collapses. That's why every top player dedicates time to structured, isolated drills to refine their mechanics. To quickly improve your mechanical skills, I would recommend to, instead of just playing matches, break it down. Warm up with targeted aim training, movement exercises, or specific skill drills every session. The next important point is individual tactics. When I say individual tactics, I mean things that make you a smarter player. In FPS games, you have to train lineups, peeking strategies, pre-aiming angles, and other stuff. In CS2 and many other games, there are even game modes in which you can exactly practice that kind of things. In MOBA, I would mention things like rotations, vision control, or skill combos. Great mechanics mean nothing if you don't know how to use them. That's why individual tactics are just as important. Learning when, where, and how to act in different situations. That's why you should practice specific scenarios. Instead of mindlessly playing, create situations where you actively focus on decision making and execution. Now that we have covered individual skills, let's take it a step further. Because no matter how good you are alone, true success in esports comes from team coordination and synergy. The ability to work as a unit in terms of timing, positioning, and communication is crucial. If you fail in these areas, your team will struggle in the long run. I think most of you already understand that a team needs to do practice tactics, plan different plays, and develop protocols for various in-game situations. However, what's often underestimated is communication training. To improve that, ask yourself the following questions. Are your calls clear? Are your calls calm and precise? Or do you first react with frustration before communicating? No matter how good you are alone, you can't win high-level games without good teamwork. A great player doesn't just think about their own actions. They think about their entire team's movement and synergy. To check this, we need to review our games and communication. That brings us to the final point: learning from mistakes. Watching replays from other players can also be incredibly helpful. It gives you valuable insights into how other players play their position and what strategies your opponents might be using. In the first part, we covered the absolute basics of esports training. We have already talked about what we need to work on, but we haven't yet discussed how to train efficiently. That's exactly what we'll be looking at now. I'll often reference these two, since that's my main game. But trust me, these principles apply to just about any other title out there. Before we dive in though, there's one thing you've got to remember. All this useful information only pays off if you enjoy the game and spend plenty of time playing it. In this chapter, I'll show you how your brain stores new information, which scientific findings can guide your practice approach, and why breaks might be just as crucial as any drill. I'm going to link to some studies in the video description if you are interested in digging deeper. Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. This is a quote from David Goggins, a former United States Navy SEAL, extreme athlete, and motivational speaker. This is exactly what you should not do if you want to train successfully in the long term. You may ask yourself, why not? Train hard, go pro, right? Well, not exactly. Obviously, it is important to grind your hours to become better, but only for a certain time. Otherwise, you're going to overload your brain with information. To show you what I mean, let me explain how our brain processes information. When we learn something new, like a new tactic or an aim drill, our brains form new connections called synapses. Imagine them as tiny roads linking two places. The more you train, the better the roads become, and the faster you get from place A to place B. That's neuroplasticity. It ensures your brain is constantly adapting, so you improve with every bit of practice. In gaming terms, that means every training session, every tactical review, and every repetition helps your brain building new connections and strengthen existing ones. As a result, not only does your reaction time improve, but you also make the right decisions more quickly in a match. That's why it's so important to practice consistently and stay focused. Your brain essentially rewires itself to help you perform better in-game. If you want to make sure that your newly learned skills can be transferred into your game, we have to tell apart short-term memory and long-term memory. Short-term memory can get overloaded pretty quickly, which is why endless grinding might not yield the best results. Instead, we want to encode our skills into long-term memory, a process that benefits from repeated exposure over time. In psychology, this concept is called spaced repetition. In simple terms, if you don't revisit new information and skills on a regular basis, you'll forget them faster. For this reason, when you have just learned something new, such as a tactic, a move, or a lineup, you should practice it regularly, especially in the first few weeks until you've fully internalized it. One way to do this is by quickly going through the skill once before each official training session. The more often you do it, the less time it will take each time. Eventually, you'll only need to refresh it every few weeks or months to keep it stored in your long-term memory. In gaming, that means you're better off breaking up your 5-hour aim practice into several shorter sessions throughout the week. By doing this, you reinforce those neural pathways more effectively, leading to stronger and longer lasting improvements in your overall performance. So now that we've seen how to lock in skills and informations into long-term memory with spaced repetition, let's see how to make every training session truly count. This is where deliberate practice comes in. Deliberate practice is all about training with intent. It involves purposeful, challenging drills paired with immediate feedback, much like adding more weight at the gym each time to continually push your limits. It is crucial to focus on areas we are not yet proficient. Human nature inclines us to train what we are already good at, typically because we enjoy those activities. Conversely, tasks that are less enjoyable are often neglected. That's why we struggle with them. Therefore, before creating a training plan, it makes sense to reflect on your strengths and weaknesses. However, we are not always aware at where we excel at and where we fall short. Fortunately, there are tools to help us determine exactly that. For instance, if you want to improve your aiming skills in a shooter, you can use programs like Kovac or AimLab to analyze your strengths and weaknesses and set clear, targeted goals. These tools record your stats and let you see whether you are actually improving. The objective is to aim for higher and higher scores, even during warm-ups. By doing so, you ensure every training session targets true progression rather than just going through the motions. If you would like to learn more, I'll link the great video by Stiko down in the description. We have already covered a large part of what makes a good training. To improve efficiently, we have to train consistently and focus on areas we tend to avoid, because that's where we struggle the most. But there's more you can do to improve fast. The order in which we train different aspects and the way we structure our training sessions play a crucial role. This is where the principle of chunking comes into play. A well-established concept that strengthens neural connections in the brain and helps activate learned knowledge more efficiently in-game. Chunking makes learning more efficient by grouping related pieces of information into larger, meaningful units. Imagine a book that is divided into different chapters. This book symbolizes your brain. The individual chapters could be called positions, pre-fire, pathing, and so on. Each of these chapters contains information on the topic for all different maps. So within the pathing chapter, you will find pathings on Dust 2, pathings on Ancient, and pathings for all the other maps. If you now want to look up all the relevant information on the map Ancient, you have to keep flicking back and forth between the chapters in your book. That takes time. Time that you don't have in-game. So wouldn't it make more sense to organize the chapters differently? Namely, according to the respective maps? Then you would find all the necessary information in one place and it would take you less time to search for it. So it makes sense to create a chunk for Ancient in your training plan, to give your brain the best opportunity to link all the relevant information for Ancient on one page. That's how chunking works. By organizing knowledge this way, we reduce cognitive load, making it easier to recall and adapt under pressure. We would like to avoid spending too much time thinking about a situation. By the time we figured it out, it may already be too late to react. Let us look at a real-world example from one of my games and how chunking helped me win it. I would like to explain chunking to you using a clutch scene of mine. In this scene, various skills are getting activated, which can be combined to one chunk. For example, Ancient B Bomb Spot. That would be pre-aiming, pathing, positioning, decision making, planting positions, and timings. These skills are complemented by an understanding of the game and experience, which can hardly be trained with chunking. In this situation, I'm playing a 1-on-3 on the Ancient. As you can see, two of my opponents are already known. I know that one of my opponents has a sniper, one has an M4, and they both know my position.
Ich glaube, der andere ist lang geschoben, der andere aimt vielleicht rein oder side.
As you can see, I've performed a wide swing here. The idea was that a sniper wanted to build up as much distance as possible from me. A sensible position for a sniper would therefore have been B long. The angle to me here would have been relatively small, which is why I opted for a wide swing instead of a jiggle peek. So here I combine the skills of positioning and decision making through chunking.
Ja, lang gesehen.
Und rechts vielleicht, aber 2.
Here I combine the smoke, which is supposed to protect me from the sniper long, with a pop flash into my back. This allowed me to check a possible opponent's position in the direction of B short. Now that I know that no opponent has faced me from the B spot or short, I can assume that both opponents are long. While the sniper will probably continue to hold my cross towards the B spot to prevent me from planting the bomb, his teammate will keep his back towards the city base. I will play with the patience of my opponents in order to provoke them into making a mistake, which I will succeed in doing. I knew the smoke was about to fade after 20 seconds, so while I was still there, I did a fake plant to provoke a peek of the sniper. I combined that with a quick move around the pillar, to get an off angle on the peeking sniper and catch him off guard. I knew that the other player probably had a task to cutting me off from the A spot, if I wanted to turn around. So I reckoned that he would come through the cave behind me, which would be his shortest route. For this reason, I planted a bomb on the side of the pillar so that I wouldn't be killed by a wallbang. Because of the throw nade, I know that the opponent is coming from the B ramp. The opponent knows that I didn't go in the direction of B short or B long, as he would have seen me. So one obvious possibility is that I went towards the cave to play it safely. Anticipating this train of thought, however, I opt for a different solution and stay behind the spot to swing the opponent to a certain timing and catch him off guard. To do this, I count the seconds when he should be at the top of the B ramp. Well, I think we can all agree that all these decisions happened intuitively and I didn't have to think long and hard about what to do and when. By chunking various skills and information, I was able to make decisions more quickly in the situation and make decisions more intuitively based on previous trained knowledge. As you can see, our brain processes information more efficiently when we organize it into categories, better known as chunks. That's why it's beneficial to structure our learning into meaningful chunks right from the start when we're planning our training sessions. When you chunk your information, your brain doesn't need to retrieve a long list of isolated facts, but instead activates a structured chunk of information, leading to faster decision making and more intuitive gameplay. This approach not only makes learning more efficient, it also enhances your in-game performance by allowing you to react fast, rather than overloading your working memory with unnecessary details. The most underestimated part of a training plan are breaks. Breaks are crucial for your brain to allow it to store new information and transfer it to long-term memory. In weight training, it's recommended to allow at least 48 hours before working the same muscle group again. This is called supercompensation. By taking breaks, we give our body time to recover and build muscle before applying the next training stimulus. While the time intervals in esports may differ, the underlying principle remains the same. Recent research shows that the brain isn't a muscle in the traditional sense, but taking regular, short breaks and rest days helps prevent cognitive overload and allows information, such as tactics, to be stored more effectively in the long term. Short pauses during sessions, say every 90 minutes, can also prevent mental overload, while at least one rest day per week helps relieve stress and reduce overall fatigue. But be warned, make sure to take your breaks with intent. Just slacking on social media for a day is neither rest nor helpful to memory retention. A long walk in nature, a meeting with friends, or a visit to the gym would be a better choice. Just as important as pauses is sleep. It's during sleep that your brain processes the day's learning, consolidating those neural connections. Studies show, linked below, that restricting sleep to 6 or fewer hours per night significantly reduces reaction time and impairs decision making. Two things you definitely don't want to compromise in esports. That's why you should aim for at least 6 hours of sleep per night. Ideally 7 to 8. To maintain optimal reaction time and decision-making ability. Let's wrap it up for this time. As you might have guessed, I'm going to do a series about all these kind of topics. Today we talked about memorization, how you should build up your training, and how to train more efficiently. In the next video we're going to talk about the training plan of a professional esport team and how you or your team should build your own training plan. Skilltree is my passion project, so I would love you to be part of it. If you want to take your progress to the next level, whether as an individual or as a team, you can also book coaching sessions with me for personalized guidance. And if you'd like to get a better idea of how I work, feel free to check out my introduction video in German. I hope you've taken away some valuable lessons, and if not, feel free to leave me a comment what you would like to hear about. So whether you're planning on going pro or you just want to improve your gameplay, don't miss out my next video.